Hey guys, good morning. Today we are going to discuss a very interesting book, 1 Samuel. Introduction. Title. 1st and 2nd Samuel are named after the person God used to establish monarchy in Israel. Samuel not only anointed both Saul and David, Israel's first two kings, but he also gave definitions to the new order of God's rule over Israel. Samuel's role as God's representative in this period of Israel's history is close to that of Moses, since he, more than any other person, provided for covenant continuity in the transition from the rule of the judges to that of the monarchy. 1st and 2nd Samuel were originally one book. It was divided into two parts by the translators of the Septuagint, the pre-Christian Greek translations of the Old Testament. A division subsequently followed by Jerome in the Latin Vulgate AD 400 and by modern versions. The title of the book has varied from time to time, having been designated the 1st and 2nd books of Kingdoms, 1st and 2nd Kings, and 1st and 2nd Samuel, Hebrew traditions and most modern versions. Literary features and authorship and date. Many questions have arisen pertaining to the literary character, authorship and date of 1st and 2nd Samuel. Certain features of the book suggested that it was compiled with the use of a number of originally independent sources, which the author may have incorporated into his own composition as much as possible in their original unedited form. Who the author was cannot be known, since the book itself gives no indications of his identity. Whoever he was, he doubtless had access to records of the life and time of Samuel, Saul and David. Explicit reference in the book itself is made to only one such source, the book of Jasher, 2 Samuel chapter 1 verse 18. But the writer of the Chronicles refers to four others that pertain to this period. The book of the Annals of King David, 1st Chronicle chapter 27 verse 24, indicates that the records of the Samuel the seer, the records of Nathan the prophet, the records of the Gad the seer, 1st Chronicle chapter 29 verse 29. Now chronology. 1105 BC, birth of Samuel, and 1080 birth of Saul, 1050 Saul anointed to be king, 1040 birth of David, 1025 David anointed to the Saul's successor, 1010 death of Saul and beginning of David's reign over Judah and Hebron, 1003 beginning of David's reign over all Israel's and capture of Jerusalem, 997 to 992 David's wars, 991 birth of Solomon, 980 David's census, 970 end of David's reign. Outline. Total we have 24 chapters in 1st Samuel. Outline. First chapter 1 to 7 we can see historical setting for the beginning of kingship in Israel. Under that, Samuel's birth, youth and call to be a prophet, Israel defeated by the Philistines, the ark of God taken and restored. Chapter 18 to 16, the beginning of the kingship in Israel under the guidance of Samuel. Under that, the rise of Saul, the people's sinful request for a king. Samuel anoints Saul privately, Saul chosen to be king publicly, Saul's choice as king confirmed, Saul's reign inaugurated at a covenant renewal ceremony, Saul's kingship a failure. Chapter 16 to 31, the establishment of kingship in Israel. Under that, we are discussing the rise of David. David enters Saul's service. David becomes alienated from Saul. Jonathan protects David from Saul. David continues to elude Saul. Saul kills the priest at Nob. David rescues the people of Keilah. Saul continues to pursue David. David spares Saul's life. David threatens Nabal's life. and David spares Saul's life again. David enters Achish's service. The end of Saul's reign. Chapter 1 to 20, we can discuss the consolidation of kingdom in Israel. David's lament over Saul and Jonathan. David becomes king over Judah. David becomes king over all Israel. David conquers Jerusalem. David brings arks to Jerusalem. God promises God an everlasting dynasty. The extension of David's kingdom. David's faithfulness to his covenant with Jonathan. David commits adultery and murder. David loses his son Amnon. David loses his son Absalom. Chapter 21 to 24, we can see final reflection on David's reign. These 24 chapters, these are very interesting. We can see David life, Saul life in this 1 Samuel chapter. So in our coming days, we are going to discuss chapter by chapter in our regular Bible study. God bless you. Thank you.